Hello and welcome to Chatting with Interesting People. I'm Steve and I'm here to chat with Jemimah, who's
Hello.
kind enough to say hello. And let's start off with how we met. I know you through church. You came a few years ago, was it?
Yeah, I've been at St. Paul's for 4 years. This is now like I'm entering into my fifth year at the church, which is
Wow, yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So you're one of the lead singers at St. Paul's Hammersmith, and would you describe yourself as a singer-songwriter?
Yes, I would describe myself as a singer-songwriter, music artist, and a massive extrovert.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk a bit more about your music later on. In particular, you've done a couple of EPs and things like that, and so we'll cover that in a bit more detail. So before you came to St. Paul's in Hammersmith, you're not from London. Where have you come from?
Yeah. So, I mean, before St. Paul's, I was at university. No, yes, I was at university in North London. So I was at a church up there. But before that, I was in Guernsey, which is where I'm from originally. And I grew up there and moved to England when I was 18.
Okay. Guernsey is one of those funny places that people have heard of, but maybe not quite know where it is. Do you want to let?
Yeah. So Guernsey is a little island in the English Channel, closer to France, but we're English. Yes.
And it's part of the Channel Islands, along with Jersey is the main other one, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a few more islands, is there?
Yep. There's Alderney, Sark, Herm, Jetu, and Breccu. But they're all very small. Like the Alderney's got 1,000 people on it, and the rest have got 100 or below in them.
Okay.
Yeah, very small.
Yeah. So, how did you find the change between a small little island and a very big city?
Yeah, I think with London, either people from Guernsey is a bit like Marmite, they love it or they hate it, and you kind of just like have to just like get stuck in, to be honest. And I just love it. I love London. I love my church. I love like what I do. And it's huge. It's so different. Everyone knows each other in Guernsey, but in London, you know, it's great because you can make your own, you can kind of you be your own person, and I just really like that. It's just so different, and I feel really at home here, which is great.
Yeah, and I suppose you said at the beginning that you're a massive extrovert, so that probably does help having 9 million other people around.
Yeah. Yeah, I love my friends. Like I love them. I love spending time with them, and I love exploring London with them. That's the kind of ideal day out, is like going for a little explore somewhere in London. Yeah.
When you were growing up, did you want to be a singer, or did you have other plans?
I actually wanted to look after dogs when I was about 7, but I already started singing by that time, and I wanted to maybe do teaching or some sort of singing or performing. But I think God really placed on my heart what He wanted me to do from quite a young age with songwriting and singing. I just really enjoyed it, and I never really looked at any other avenues apart from going to uni and doing theology, music, and worship at uni. I didn't really thought of anything else. I really wanted to do that. And then that's what I did.
Okay, yeah. And so when you came to London, you said you were at a university in North London.
Yeah.
And then was it St. Paul's Hammersmith that brought you to this area?
It was actually my job. So I was working with kids who were excluded from school with TLG for 2 years. And as part of that, I was kind of working through St. Paul's. So I did that for a couple of years. And then after that, after my 2 years, I became self-employed, doing what I do now with lots of music. And then I decided to stay at the church because it's an amazing church and I didn't want to leave.
Yeah, TLG, it's one of those things that I've heard about, and I know it's one of those amazing charities that's kind of spread across. There's quite a few schools in it now, isn't there?
Yeah, there's like 13 or 14 education centres around the UK.
And how would you kind of engage those kids who are excluded from school?
So we had 14, well, up to kind of 14 kids, and there was 4 or 5 of us staff, and we would teach them. We would replicate school as much as normal as possible and try and get them back into mainstream school, but also like, replace the lies in their head that they're not good enough. Lots of things. It was more than just school. It was like being the mum that they didn't have at home, or being the dad they didn't have at home, or whatever it is, in a teacher way, and like, giving them a lease of life that they'd never been able to have before. And obviously as Christians, we were able to pray with them. We were able to really minister to them through our teaching, which was such a privilege.
Yeah, I think it's quite powerful that you kind of look beyond the naughty behaviour and try and figure out what's going on behind that, and being kind of those role models, and encouraging them to think about their identity and realizing that they are worth something, and that's a really powerful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Did you get many back into school?
A fair few. I remember walking quite close with one of the kids in their journey back to school, and would go and visit her when she'd gone back to school, which was such a privilege. And I think some of them are still in school, which is amazing. Brilliant.
So it's not just you send them to school and leave them alone. You actually try and support them.
Yeah, we visit them when we can. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And then after that, what did you go on to?
Then after that, I was self-employed. So I am doing singing, teaching, writing my own music. I have a couple of other jobs as well, doing 4 hours a month for some media marketing for an organization, and then also working in a coffee shop, which is really fun. So I've got lots of little things, and it's all very flexible, which is great, because if I do get gigs, I can just say I can drop everything and go, which is great. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, and it also sounds like it's all very much focused on working with people, and I did a bit of work in catering many years back, and so I was doing some of the coffee, not to the same level that you're doing it, but I have noticed that just something like that means you are regularly engaging with people. You see the same people day in, day out sometimes, and you can encourage them that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's brilliant. Yeah, really good.
Are you an expert at making different kinds now?
Not yet. I made a few today, but I still have a long way to go. I need to practice more and get better at like frothing milk and things. But I really enjoy it. It's great.
Yeah, it's one of those things that there is a skill to that people don't necessarily realize.
Definitely a massive art as well. Especially if you want to serve good coffee, it's an art. It's more than just like, here's your mug, here's your coffee. I appreciate the art behind it. It's great. Yeah.
And so you've been teaching singing. Have you got many pupils for that at the moment?
No, I've got actually only have 4 at the moment, but then I have other people that I teach on and off, and when they're required, because I really like teaching like adults or beginning people, just to set them off really well, and give them the confidence and kind of release them into singing, and especially in like church situations of like they're on the worship team and they need a bit of like guidance with the technique of how they're singing. So I really enjoy doing stuff like that. Yeah, I think singing is one of those things that most people have a bit of a go at some point, and especially on kind of, you see all these talent shows and people just kind of start singing and just do it, but there's definitely techniques to improve, isn't there? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think it just requires practice, and it's because it's a muscle. So, the more we practice, the better we'll become, which is great. Yeah. What kind of training did you have for you singing? So I was singing since I was 7. I did like exams with singing, did singing in my degree. It was my first study. And then I have on and off lessons as well, and did a few little courses as well. So I really enjoy it, and I would love to be able to do more courses as well. Okay. And what kind of style would you say that you sing? Well, I grew up in the classical sphere, and then my music is more like contemporary Christian kind of pop or slightly jazzy sometimes. And I really enjoy that. I love singing kind of jazz and kind of background music for events and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of changed and changing. I feel like I'm still finding my sound, but I still use my like classical training and the technique and stuff, but just want to be adaptable to whatever scenario I need to sing for.
Yeah, and over lockdown, you've been busy writing new stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, I released a 5-track EP. Nope. Yes, 5-track EP in the summer. It's based on 2 songs. So one of the songs I released last year, almost a year ago, actually. Then the other song I released a couple of months ago. And then both of the songs have been remixed. And then I also had a rapper on one of them as well. So I was working with that with my producer Fez this year. And so I just released something new and now working towards another EP next year. All of the songs, there's going to be 5 new songs, and they're going to be all originals, and I'm very excited to write them and then let the world hear them.
Yeah, from those 2 songs that you mentioned, Use Me is one that that was one of my favorites, and another one is probably Anthems. I think those are probably the 2 that really stick out for me. Have you got a favorite?
I really like Use Me, actually. I do. I like both the new ones more. I think my favorite is the remix of Friend, actually. That's my favorite. That's the last one that came out about 6 weeks ago.
I know I can count on you. I know that you'll see me through. You're my brother, you're my sister. Hate it when I missed you. Backed it when they dished you. Love it when I be with you. I ain't with the same old news. Tired of the same old blues. If you call me, I'll uplift. You ain't on it, I'll insist. This might end up in a rift, but I guess I'll take that risk. And I hit ground zero. Pray you'll be my hero.
Even if I hit ground zero, or somewhere in the middle, the foundation of your love is that you'll catch me.
I know I can count on
somewhere in the middle. Even if I hit ground zero, the gravity of love is that you'll catch me, yeah.
You've had a bit of radio play, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah, I have. Actually, it was on the radio on Saturday or this morning, I think, as well, in Guernsey and Jersey. And then I've been on the radio over here with UCB radio and Connect radio as well.
Okay, UCB is one of the ones that I know and I listen to, but I haven't heard of Connect.
Yeah, Connect is Connect with a K, and it's another Christian radio. And I think I did it was played during like a Sunday evening set, which was great.
Yeah, and in Guernsey and Jersey, was that the local radio?
Yeah, that's the local radio. Sometimes I go in, or I had an interview with them last week about music, and sometimes they're just really encouraging and like to hear about the different people's lives that have they grew up in Guernsey and they've moved on, and they just they're really interested and like to hear about what we're doing, which is really lovely.
Yeah, that's good to hear that they they do want to follow your journey, see what you're up to, and they don't just let you disappear and forget about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate the support, and yeah, definitely. And they're always saying, every time you come back, do let us know, and we'll happily have you on, or anything like that, which is great. Really good.
And you've recently moved house, and you're living with a few other people to kind of do a bit of a community feel. Is that right? Yeah.
Moved house near church, which is great. And I live with 2 lovely housemates, and we have people around, and just want to use it as a place where we can have people over, and it can be a safe space for them, and bake and cook. And I've never lived with friends before, so it's lovely to be able to do that, and to just be free to be an adult living with friends is great.
Yes. But the house that you've just moved from, that's quite an interesting one, isn't it? Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I was living with a lovely couple from my church. They've got 2 teenage daughters, and was kind of a bit like an older sister for them, but they host homeless young people. And we moved into a house in West London where we host, homeless young people. We had capacity for 7 young people with 2 volunteers living in, and I was one of those for 8 months. And we would, try and replicate normal life as possible, although COVID was a bit annoying because we couldn't do as much as we wanted to. And the young people would be referred to us by a homeless charity, and we would do our best to walk with them, to cook for them, to be with them and spend time with them, which was it was difficult but really good. 8 months, learned a lot, which was great.
And I suppose that was teaching them some of the life skills as well. Yeah,
cooking, cleaning, just looking after yourself as an adult. How you deal with every day, especially in lockdown, and how you think about things and how we respond to things. Learn all about that. So that was really good, and it was a really good learning curve. It was difficult because we had some really interesting characters. But we just really saw God was really faithful through it all. And it was amazing 8 months, but it's definitely time to have moved out and gone and kind of just in a different season now, which I'm really thankful for.
Yeah, it sounds like you were there to kind of help start off the project, just as one of the kind of the extra team there. Yeah. And with your experience through TLG, you're used to working with young people in difficult situations. So definitely. I was very glad God had put me in that place for TLG, and then gave me a lot of kind of training and I guess just mental posture of what to do and how to think as well for the new house. Yeah, and the a couple that run that, I know them well, and they're definitely the kind of mentoring people as well, so that must have been a really good support for you as well.
Yeah, it was great. They're amazing. It was amazing to have them as like a second family, really. So that was amazing.
And so kind of looking forward, you've mentioned about writing some new songs, and what's that looking like at the moment?
So at the moment, I'm just kind of in between having released stuff and going to write some new ones. I'm just planning with my producer at the moment what we're going to do, where we're going to do it. We're going to probably take a home studio to like an Airbnb and film the whole process of songwriting so we can take people on the journey, because I really want to, just the way with my listeners and supporters, I just want to be able to take people on the journey and allow them to have a window into the life of how we write songs and how much fun we have, because I love writing, and especially with this guy called Fez. He's amazing. He's produced a lot of my stuff and we've co-written, so it's such a privilege to be able to work with him. So I'm really excited for that's coming. I don't know when we're going to release it, but we'll probably record sometime in March, so I'm super excited for that. I can't share too much about it. Some of it's not even planned yet, but I'm just excited.
And have you been working with Fez for long?
Just over a year. I met him. Well, actually, we got put on a call on Zoom last year. The people that put us on the call just said, you guys should write together. So we did. And now we've released like an EP, which is amazing. So I'm really thankful for his friendship and his guidance. And he's done a lot of work with different people in the professional music sphere. So just really thankful that he's working with me and we're friends, and being able to do music is amazing. Yeah. And
so that was during COVID. I'm guessing he's not based in London, is he?
He is based in South London.
Okay. So it gives you the chance to meet up and work together that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how much difference have you found having a producer to previously?
Yeah, I mean, for my first EP, I did have a producer, but he was a friend, and he was like really willing to kind of guinea pig for it, because he hadn't really produced anything before. So it was amazing to be able to write the songs and record and work with him. So it's just like a new kind of phase and just getting into it more. So I'm really thankful for everyone I've worked with and who I will work with. It's always lovely to work with different people. So it's just been a privilege to work with everyone I have worked with. Yeah.
That sounds quite exciting. I look forward to hearing the new stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, me too.
So what else is kind of going to happen for you?
Got a few concerts I'm going to be doing. I would love to kind of the dream, or not the dream, but the one of ideas I love to do with my new music next year is to do a little tour with it. I would love to do that. Love to do some more traveling with music. But obviously just waiting on COVID and different opportunities to come up. I'm flying home this week to go and sing at a concert. So that's exciting too. So that's kind of what's coming up in the future.
So are you from a singing family?
I am, yeah. My mum is a singer and my granddad's very musical as well. So I guess I just kind of inherited it and I kind of fell into it.
Yeah. Am I right in thinking that your mum's involved with the choir?
Yes, she leads a choir back at home. She took over for my granddad. And so when I'm going back, I'll be singing for her as a guest soloist. So I'm excited to be able to support her in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And you mentioned kind of supporters. Do you have a regular list of those, or
I have an email list who I email people. I have a couple of Patreons, and who I'm very thankful for. And so I mean, I guess whoever's listening to this, if you're kind of willing to support, I kind of would love the support. So kind of financially, the support goes to me being able to write songs, because often creatives, like, yes, I could have like a completely full-time job, but then be so chock-a-block, have no time to create and have the headspace. And so part of me doing lots of little jobs and being flexible is so I can have the headspace and go and write. And obviously writing with people it costs money. So like financially people support me and the money goes to me writing with people and being able to eat in the morning, and things like that. So I'm really thankful for everyone who supports me and very grateful for any future supporters who might want to support me as well.
Yeah, we'll kind of give a link to your email list if you want, and you've got a website, haven't you? So
yeah, I do have a website, www.jemimah-paine.com.
Okay, and so that will give the information to people.
Yeah.
And Patreon, that's a fairly new service, isn't it?
I don't know how long it's been around for, but probably within the last 8 years. Oh, I'm not sure. Actually.
Yeah, it's something I've only become aware of, I suppose, over the last year or so.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain what that is?
So Patreon is a way that people can support me monthly, and in return, so my supporters get little things from me. So, £4 a month supporting me, you are then on my email list, and you get to hear about all the updates I'm doing in my life. And then £10 a month is you on the email list, but you also are put into a Facebook group where I share my songwriting and things I'm working on and whatever else I'm doing. And then £50 a month is just catching up, personal catch-ups with the people. So a Zoom chat once a month with the people that are doing that and are willing to support me in that way.
That sounds quite exciting.
Yeah,
and
great.
So that's the main, your main kind of support for financially, but you've also got YouTube and Facebook and
social media,
all the other social medias,
and Instagram. I use all of those, and my songs are on there, updates are on there. And so if you're interested, do give that a follow and you'll just be seeing what I'm up to.
Okay. And are they all the same name on those, or are they?
Jemimah Paine Music, but Jemimah with an H on the end, Paine. But we can put links in the
yes, definitely,
chat,
yes,
so you can see where they are.
Yeah. And is there anything else you want to kind of share on that, or anything else?
Don't think so. I think that's it. Just keep your eyes peeled for new music next year, and do give my other music a listen. And I hope it blesses you.
Fantastic, thank you. And thank you so much for your time. I know that although you said that you kind of do kind of manage to keep some free time. It sounds like you are very busy still. So
Got a few things on and off. Yeah.
Yeah. And so thank you so much for your time. And yeah, I'll stick out the links and hopefully people can find out more about what's going on with you.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. And so that just leaves me to say thank you so much to everyone watching. And apparently the thing you've got to say on YouTube is like and subscribe, click that notification bell. And so thank you very much for watching Chatting with Interesting People. And I'm Steve, and this is Jemimah.
Thank you.
I choose beauty over ashes. Peace, you will be my stay. I choose gladness over mourning. Confidence, not fear. I choose beauty over ashes. Peace, you will be my stay. For joy comes in the morning. Your love runs through my bones. Now I can surely say that you are mending this heart of stone. Mending this heart of stone. I choose resting in your presence than being in a storm. You're helping me move forwards and break down all my walls. I turn my face towards you and worship you there. Whatever I may go through, no, I will not despair. For joy comes in the morning. Your love runs through my bones. Now I can surely say that you are mending this heart of stone. Mending this heart of stone. Security, humility, kindness and love can only be found in you, so it's you I choose. Security, humility, kindness and love can only be found in you, so it's you I choose. Security, humility, kindness and love can only be found in you, so it's you I choose. Security, humility, kindness and love